Now, tell me if I'm wrong, but often we look for validation in others so hard and so vigorously, subconsciously or consciously, that we neglect ourselves to the point of not improving. If we put all of the work of finding that validation and putting it into ourselves, we can not really care about validation that we get from others. We don't care whether we get it from others because we're putting so much work in ourselves. Everybody should have the self confidence. Well, comparison is the root of unhappiness. If you're comparing yourself as if you can't be what you're comparing yourself as, then you're only going to perpetually put yourself in a downward, oh, I can't do this mindset. When realistically, no human being, while there are, inherent advantages and, things that make it easier for certain people, there's nothing that you can't accomplish with discipline and, consistent growth. But if you find yourself, you know, in that downward spiral, we're all human. Everything, there's no billionaire that is a one of a kind billionaire. You just have to hone yourself, put enough work into yourself to then be able to see that you don't need the validation of others to appreciate yourself. And that's where, the setback is. All the time I used to look to others to, I have a plethora of knowledge on a whole bunch of things, and my viewpoints are so different and oftentimes aren't recognized by the people around me. And I would think that, it wasn't worth knowing, or, it was something wrong with me. But at the end of the day, you know, you share because you want to share, not because you want people to agree with you. And that's the difference. You care enough about the information that you have, whatever information that may be, that you share it because you know it and because you like talking about your viewpoint, and not for, oh yeah, you're right, or it'd be those little triggers that keep us from being, as happy as we could be. We can easily be happier if we didn't look for those validation triggers in other people. And I'm learning that, I don't necessarily need validation. Like, I would like it, I would, appreciate it, but I don't base my interactions around it. And I used to. So now I prioritize speaking because I want to speak instead of trying to get that that validation trigger. And it's a very sensitive topic, because if you ask people, they'll be like, "Oh, I don't seek validation from anybody. I don't care." But it's I'm just relating my personal experience. I can't speak for anybody else because everybody has their own life. But I think that it is a noteworthy topic of conversation because a lot of people don't put their own working on themselves as much as they should, to the point where there are little loopholes in their subconscious that they're not necessarily recognizing. And I'm just bringing one of those to light. I just hope everybody can learn to appreciate what they offer to the world, because every individual person has something unique that nobody else but you can offer. Never forget that.